My channel got a community strike from YouTube. Here's what happened. YouTube said that your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. Crazy. It meant that if I were to get like 3 strikes in a row, my channel could actually be terminated. So, yes, normally you would panic, but if this happens to you, I'm going to tell you the exact steps to follow and where to go for help. Here's what I did to save my channel. Step number 1 is to get help. If you are part of the creator program, if you are part of the partner program, or you're monetized, then you can go and write to YouTube. You can live chat with them or email them. So I'll put a link in the description of where you can go to get help from the YouTube support team. When you go there, you'll see some options for getting in touch with them on different Android phones and via computers, live chat options, and email options. So I actually sent them an email. And stick around because I'm going to tell you what to do if you are not part of the partner program. You can still write to them and get in touch with them coming up. Okay, so the email that I sent to them is, I explained why I thought that this community strike was wrong, okay? Because they told me that the links in my description were spammy and suspicious, and they were violating their community guidelines. And I know that my links were not doing that. So here's the email that I wrote. I believe a community strike was erroneously issued against my channel. The reason given was that the following 2 links in my video description are spam slash scam or slash deceptive. Both these links go to landing pages on my website where a standard opt-in form is displayed. When someone fills out that form, they are sent free business resources. There is absolutely nothing deceptive or spammy about these links. I also checked my website for malware, and there is absolutely nothing detected. Even though I've removed the offending links, I'm concerned that other links to my website will also be labeled as spam and similarly issued strikes against. Please have an actual human review these strikes who will be able to see the website links as perfectly normal and not spammy or deceptive at all. Thank you. So the first thing you want to do is plead your case and let them know if the strike was erroneously issued and why you believe that is the case and what actually is the nature of that offending link that they didn't like. And this is a very, very typical community strike that you could get for putting links in your description sometimes, because it's all automated and robots are sometimes just misflagging things, right? So that's what they did on my channel. And so this is the appeal that I wrote. Now, my concern was that because they flagged these links, they might start to flag these links on other videos of mine, and I have these links on more than 250 videos. So I was scared that I might get 2 more strikes like within the week. And so in order to avoid that, I implemented step 2, which is damage control. Now, I wanted to remove those offending links temporarily until the strike was resolved and a human actually reviewed those links and found that they were actually not spammy. So in the interim period, I wanted to do damage control and remove those links. Normally, this would be an excruciatingly time-intensive process, especially for someone who has a lot of videos on their channel, and I had over 250 videos, probably with most of those links in the description. So thankfully, I have a subscription to TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy has a great bulk and delete feature. It's also called find and replace, because if you want to replace your links, you can use that, but I wanted to bulk find and delete those links. So that's the feature that I used. So I typed those links and went to that feature and found all the links, all the videos where those links were, all the descriptions where those links were, and I deleted them with 1 click. And so that was my damage control, and that was done within a few minutes thanks to TubeBuddy's Pro features. The next thing that I did, step 3, is communicate with my audience. Because I couldn't upload or even post in the community tab and I couldn't do a live stream, I didn't want there to be radio silence for my subscribers and my audience thinking, where the hell have I disappeared to? So this is such an important step. You should let your audience know. But if you don't have your channel to let them know and you can't actually post anything, you want to have other ways to get in touch with your audience. And so I had my email list and I actually sent out an email to my audience telling them what had happened and letting them know that I'm working on resolving the situation. And so really, if you want to make sure that you have another channel of communication with your audience, I highly suggest building out your email list starting today. And you can watch some of the videos that I'm going to link to in the description for how to start getting leads and email subscribers from your YouTube videos. So remember to go and watch those videos after this video. So I was issued the strike on March 25th, and I finally got an email on April 8th from YouTube. So this is quite a few weeks later. And they said, "Hi Salma, thanks for your patience. I have good news for you. The community guidelines strike on your channel has been resolved, etc., etc. The good news is that upon further review, we determined that the URL does not violate our guidelines. As such, we have resolved the strike and reinstated the URL." So step 4 was the resolution, upon which I went and added those links back in again using TubeBuddy. So the moral of the story here is, if you get a community strike, make sure that you follow these 4 steps. Reach out, get help, make sure that you do damage control, make sure that you communicate. But really the most important thing is to remember that YouTube is just one income stream. Like AdSense is just one income stream. You should never be completely reliant on any social media platform for your entire business model. I put together a guide of 13 different ways to earn money using YouTube, so you can start with YouTube but then diversify into multiple income streams. I'm going to link to that guide down in the description. Make sure you grab that so that if your channel gets deleted or terminated, you get strikes, you don't panic, you're not going to lose your business. You still have a way to communicate with your audience and still have a way to grow your business. I will see you in the next one. Make sure you grab everything that I've mentioned down from the description today. Take care.
Before I say this, with me, and if you would pray for me as I stand in this sacred place, that God would grant us grace for the moment in which, and for the assignment in which we have been blessed with. Would you pray for me? Let us pray. Nope.
You got a channel violation, you got a strike, and you're wondering how you can take it out. I'm just going to show you how you can do that. Please do not miss a step, because you just have to apply these steps so that you can get this strike out of your channel and then you'll be free. Alright guys, so let's go. If this sounds like what you want to watch, you just have to make sure you watch the video to the end. Alright, so here you can see that there's a strike on my channel already, and then you have 2 types of strike, which has been copyright strike and community guideline strike, right? So these are the strikes that YouTube can give to you if there's a violation in your channel. And then when you have this kind of strike, you know what it means, right? You know what it means. If you have this type like 3 times in the space of 90 days, your channel will either be deleted or just be taken away. All right, so let's check copyright. As you can see, I have copyright strike on my dashboard, right? Let's go to copyright. Now it's telling me that there's no strike here, right? There's no strike, but this is not where you used to judge if your channel has a copyright strike, right? You just go to your dashboard, and then that's where you're going to see that your channel has a warning that is a copyright strike, right? So let's click on it and see what's happening there. So when you click on it, you see you have a warning there. So your content was removed due to violation of our
figures, and then become
point in my life is only meant for like super pretty bitches.
Welcome to the channel, Fellas, where the truth doesn't need to be polite. So today's video, it's a rare one. Older women are finally admitting what use they actually have for men. And let's just say, the honesty is hitting harder than the makeup filter. After years of I don't need a man, the tone's changed. Now it's reflection, regret, and a little too late realization of how the game really works. Stick around. We're breaking down what they said, why it matters, and what every man can learn from it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because truth like this doesn't come around often.
I went on a date tonight for the first time in several months, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons that there will not be a second date. So reason one, when I was walking towards the place where our date was supposed to be, I could see him standing on the corner. He clearly saw me, proceeded to duck away, and then when I turned the corner, he was leaning against the wall with one foot propped up and his arms crossed against his chest. We went straight to the bar. I ordered a vodka cranberry because that's my go-to, and I know how to handle my liquor. I knew that I was going to be fine after one drink. He proceeded to also order a vodka cranberry, decided to order it with Grey Goose. I ordered mine with Wells. Okay. He ordered a vodka cranberry and then proceeded to tell me while the bartender was making his drink that he does not know how to handle his liquor and that he will most likely be drunk after finishing that drink. I thought to myself, why would you do that? He wouldn't stop staring at my boobs. He commented a lot on how hot I looked, which I know, but it seemed excessive. At one point, I mentioned that Sabrina Carpenter is one of my favorite singers, and he interrupted me to tell me that he also loves Sabrina Carpenter. And I said, oh, awesome. And then he repeated that he loved Sabrina Carpenter, and I went, right. And then he said it a third time, really drawing out the fact that he really loves Sabrina Carpenter. And it got to a point where I realized if a straight man is telling a female presenting person or any person how much they love Sabrina Carpenter, I don't think it's about her music at that point. He also interrupted me a lot. He would ask me questions that would lead to me telling a story about something. I never got to finish any of the stories that I was telling tonight, so that sucks. And yes, true to his word, he did get drunk after one drink, one vodka cranberry. I finished mine very quickly, did not get drunk. I was able to drive afterwards. I could have driven home right then and there if I really wanted to, but I didn't want to leave him stranded drunk at a bar, so I had to stay way longer than I wanted to. I know not everyone picks up on body language as well as most people, but I feel like I was making it very clear that I did not want to be touched. I did not want him to stand very close to me, and he proceeded to do just that. Every time he would stand close to me, I would take a little step to the side. He would keep following me around just so he could stand really close to me. He also found any opportunity to high-five me just so he could hold my hand. he would get really close to me and just stare at me, and I feel like I was making it very clear that that's not what I wanted to do or reciprocate. He tried taking me to a hookah bar at one point. The end of the night, when I finally was able to leave, he asked me if he could walk me to my car. I said that that was fine. I didn't see any reason why he couldn't. He walked in front of me the whole time and didn't say anything. At the end of the night, I'm glad that I went on a date. I'm glad that I'm putting myself out there. I will probably continue to go on dates until I don't want to go on dates anymore. That one just did not go very well.
He kept staring at my tits, which I left hanging out in this net top, so people could look at them. How dare he? Bro didn't even fumble. Man threw the ball into the stands and called it a touchdown.
A man just gave me a noogie at the end of our first date. And I'm still processing this. It's very strange. We had a great date. I really liked him. We got along so well. It was an awesome first date, and he walked me home. So we're standing outside my front door, and it's always like a little awkward when you get home, but it's like, do you hug, do you kiss, whatever. But I'm a hugger. I always go for the hug unless they're like, oh, can I give you a kiss? And if I really like them, I'll say yes. But usually I'm just like, oh, I don't kiss on a first date. And so I was kind of expecting that. I was kind of expecting a hug. And then he was like, okay, well, it was really great. I had a great time. I was like, yeah, me too. He goes, well, do you want to do this again next week? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And he was like, okay, cool, I'll text you. As he was saying, I'll text you, he went, and I just kind of stared at him. I was like, and we stood there for maybe 5 seconds, just kind of staring at each other. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And I turned and walked inside my building. I don't know.
He's a genius. Now you're not just obsessively thinking about him. You're actually making TikTok about it. Not only are you thinking about him, all the women in her comments are thinking about him. It's a win. He cracked her code.
I went on a very successful date, even though we're not seeing each other again, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. So, first of all, I met this guy through Hinge. He planned the date, but we actually only matched the day before the date. He wanted to meet at 7:30, and I said, you know what, I finished work at 6. Can we actually do 7 at the latest, because that's just too much time for me to kill after work. And I told him where I worked and somewhere that was convenient for both of us, and he booked the date. But before we actually planned it, the night before, he didn't give me confirmation as to where we were meeting. So I said to him, you know what, can you let me know if we're meeting, just so that I will bring my gym clothes to work with me if we aren't meeting. Because this has happened to me before, where plans have been made very loosely. I've not brought my gym stuff with me, so I've missed out on a gym session for a date which didn't even happen. So in the morning, he confirmed with me that we were going on the date, but I still already brought my gym clothes with me, just in case. And went on the date. When he met me, he was there a little bit earlier than me. He stood up to hug me, to greet me, which I thought was really nice. Very nice date. We spoke about family, career goals, kind of what we like. We spoke about previous relationships. He didn't slag his ex off or anything. He was very well-mannered stuff, which I think is really nice. He was good looking. I found him attractive, but to be fair, there wasn't really that sexual chemistry and spark between us. Sometimes someone can be objectively attractive, but you just don't really feel that chemistry. Whereas sometimes someone is not as objectively attractive, but you really fancy them. That side wasn't really there, but we had a nice chat, we had a really good conversation. But anyway, the bill came and I said, you know what, do you want to split it? And he was first he made a joke and was you could pay for it actually. And I was like, I'm happy to. And he was like, don't be silly, unless the girl's super rude, I'm never going to ask a girl to pay for a date if I'm not asking her out. Anyway, so he paid the bill and he walked me to the station, even though it was a different station that he was going to. When he hugged me bye, he said, text me when you get home, which I did. And then when I got home, I said, thank you so much for the date. And I also said, have you got home safe? And then he sent me this message. You can screenshot it, pause it. I felt so happy about this message because I was he's so emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent. He's not ghosted me. I felt very similar in the sense of had a lovely time but didn't feel that romantic connection. And it just goes to show that you can have a lovely time with someone, have a nice date. I don't think it was a waste of time. I don't think it was a wasted date. Two people trying to get to know each other. If it doesn't work out, then that's not the end of the world. You don't have to see them again. But I think so many guys and women as well just ghost because they're too scared to hurt the other person's feelings, or they just don't care about the other person's feelings. I just think it just wastes people time and leaves them hanging or like second guessing, especially if you have an amazing date where you like hit it off, house on fire. Like that date, I think we both knew that there was like something missing. Whereas there have been some dates where I've had the most amazing date and then it just kind of like fizzles out, and I'm like, a simple message I would have much preferred, because I've done that many times to guys where I've like told them the reason why I don't want to see them again. I just think that shows it's a successful date even though we don't want to see each other again.
Here's the thing. Don't expect fireworks on a first date with a gent. Seriously, it's coffee, not the Notebook. Some of these women show up expecting Disney-level chemistry, violin music, and a marriage proposal by dessert. Meanwhile, the guy is just trying to see if you're normal enough to split a pizza without turning it into a therapy session. The truth is, first dates aren't about sparks, they're about signals. Is there conversation flow? Can you laugh together? Do you both actually want a second date? That's it. Not every man who opens a door for you is auditioning to be your husband. But of course, the modern dating scene has women treating every outing like a job interview for a future husband, LLC. If the man doesn't deliver instant butterflies and fireworks, he's immediately labeled boring or low effort. Maybe he's just calm. Maybe he's just a gentleman. The irony is that those same women who want fireworks are the ones who complain about toxic men later. Newsflash, the guys who bring the most fireworks are usually the ones who burn the house down afterward. Stability doesn't glow red and explode in the sky. It builds slowly. So yeah, don't expect fireworks. Expect a real conversation, a bit of laughter, and maybe a genuine connection. Fireworks are loud, fleeting, and full of smoke, kind of like most modern relationships.
True love, I am convinced at this point in my life, is only meant for like super pretty bitches. Like y'all are the only ones, like, you know, when you turn to the side and you don't look like this, you get love. You get your hair brushed, you get your hair washed, you get carried to the shower, you get taken care of when you're drunk. You get love. You get coffee in the morning. You get breakfast in bed, bitch. You get flowers and grand shows of affection. You get love. I get an afterthought. I get the back burner. I get whatever's left.
This woman really said true love is meant for super pretty women. Oh, really? So the rest of humanity is just supposed to settle for coupons and companionship out of pity? It's wild how some people genuinely think love is a beauty contest judged by Instagram filters and lighting angles. See, here's the thing. Pretty might get you noticed, but it won't keep you chosen. You can be the most stunning woman in the room, but if your attitude is nasty, your entitlement loud, and your empathy non-existent, guess what? That beauty expires faster than milk on a hot day. The irony? The super pretty women she's talking about are often the ones crying online about how hard dating is. They get attention, sure, but not commitment. Because men might chase beauty, but they marry geese. And peace doesn't need lip fillers or ring lights. It's not that true love skips the average woman. It's that too many people confuse attraction with affection. One fades, the other grows. One is about looks, the other is about loyalty. So no, true love isn't reserved for the super pretty. It's reserved for the super real. And that's why most people chasing beauty keep missing the point.
New Orleans ladies, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any, like, where are the men? And I know you're like, no, babe, that's what we're asking you. But now I'm asking you, where are they? Because I've had like 3 seemingly good men respond to my call for single men in New Orleans. I don't understand. And I see some of you men, looking at my videos and my profile and saving them. What are you waiting for? Send me a message. Stop being weird.
This older woman is literally asking if there are no New Orleans men on TikTok. Ma'am, TikTok is not a dating app. It's an app for people to dance badly, argue in the comments, and overshare their lives at 2 a.m. You're not going to find a husband in the middle of a Bourbon Street storytime video. Here's the thing. The fact that she's out here asking social media where the men are just proves the point. They're not on TikTok because they're working. Men don't spend their time lip syncing and complaining about dating. They're too busy earning a living and minding their business. Maybe it's time to close the app and open the door. Go to a coffee shop, a bookstore, maybe even a jazz night. You know, real life. Because if your entire dating pool exists in your For You page, then For You might actually mean nobody for you. Also, what makes her think all the good men are just sitting on TikTok waiting for her to appear? Newsflash, if you're looking for serious men, you won't find them scrolling videos of recipes and dog filters. So yeah, New Orleans men exist. They're just not on TikTok, ma'am. They're probably on the job site, fixing something, paying bills, or too tired to record a thirst trap in their car.
Y'all, I really don't share too much personal shit on the TikTok, but I gotta tell you, I'm so... I'm back in the dating scene. Oof. Oof. That's all I can say. I had such a lovely date yesterday. Second date. Lovely, 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 lovely. And I drove an hour to go see this gentleman, which I didn't mind. It was a beautiful day. I went to a lovely laundry. I got dressed real cute. But this dude, and everything was great. The date was great. Help me unpack this. Somebody out there on the TikTok, please, help me unpack this. The date was great. Laughter, great conversation. And then I left, and I didn't hear from him. And I don't know, maybe I have expectations that are too high, but dude, like, I don't know. Text your date and say, hey, hope you made it home safe. I'm like, there's a great saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. And given that I'll be 50 years old this year, I'm like, do I really have time to be training a man how to have manners, like just general thoughtful manners? So anyway, that's where that lies. And I really, really think, what do you think, show of hands? Like, I could start a website called getmorehoney.com and coach these men. And I'm sure some women too, but like, come on. Seriously? Pictures with urinals in the background? Or your dog licking your ear? I don't know. And the etiquette thing. Like, please tell me there are men out there who say it and say, hope you made it home safe.
This 50-year-old woman says she's back in the dating scene. Drove an hour to meet a gentleman. Second date went great. Lots of laughs, smiles, good convo. And then crickets. No, did you get home safe? No, I had a nice time. Nothing. Just ghost mode activated. Now she's wondering if maybe her expectations are too high. Here's the thing. Expecting a text after a date isn't too high, but expecting a relationship after 2 dinner laughs might be. This is what happens when people romanticize chemistry instead of compatibility. He didn't forget to text. He just didn't care enough to follow up. Simple as that. She's out here trying to date like it's 1995, but this is 2025. Men are not chasing, they're filtering. And once they sense unrealistic expectations, poof, gone faster than her makeup setting spray. Maybe, just maybe, the problem isn't that her standards are too high. It's that her self-awareness is too low. You can't expect a man to treat you like his queen when he just met you at Applebee's. So yeah, the date was great for him. For her, it was a reminder that the dating pool at 50 isn't shallow. It's just filled with people still swimming in delusion.
Hey, I started going to the club in the 99, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I was sneaking in the club when I was about 16, you know what I'm saying? And I remember back in the day, I could drop that goddamn thing down low, hey, and turn around and see some little cute something behind me, some little fine tenor roll it, be like, shit, son, what's your name? And I be back there, Shayla, pop, pop, pop. Now, I be scared to goddamn turn around. I drop that thing low, and you turn around, and somebody behind me titty bigger than mine. Bitch, get back. Get the fuck back. Man, where y'all at? Y'all don't dance no more, y'all too cool today. Hey, you used to go to the club and play that goddamn number out like a strip club. Tap, 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 tap. Shit, you go to the club now. You leaving whatever fucking number you wrote down. Ain't nobody asking for your number, ain't nobody asking for your Instagram, ain't nobody asking for nothing. It ain't now but a bunch of women. It ain't that. It's a vibe, bitch. I vibe with men. I don't vibe with women. Shit, this ain't my type of party. You should have told me to put this shit on the fire and said women only, and I would have went to another party. You know what I'm saying? I want some co-ed shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no women's only party. Ah, that ain't fellas. Where you at?
I wanted to tell this story a while ago, but I don't know why, but I was like scared to tell it. And then I just completely forgot about it. But yesterday my friend and I were talking and she was telling me something that happened to her that reminded me of this. So I thought I might as well make a video. Let me tell you about the time that this guy did me so dirty. So basically, like, I had just gotten out of a relationship. You know, I was really in the need for some emotional attention and such. So there was this one guy that always liked my Instagram post. Like, every time I posted, he was always like the first like, or whenever I like posted a story, he would like it. And I found out I had him on Snapchat, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start snapping him. So I did. So I snapped him, and then literally ever since then we had just like started snapping each other all the time, just talking, getting to know each other, whatever. So we had been like snapping and talking for a couple months, and then like we kind of just slowly stopped talking to each other. And this happened literally like 1,000,000 times. Like, we were very on and off with talking to each other, but it's fine because it wasn't that serious, you know, like we were literally just snapping. Eventually, after being like off and on for like I don't even know how long, probably close to a year, we start snapping again. And this time it was just like, I don't know, it was different, but I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like we were talking to each other a lot more and like actually getting to know each other on a deeper level. And so eventually, like, after we go on like this again for a while, I was talking to him and I was like, oh, I like kind of want to hang out. Like, I've literally been like Snapchatting you for almost a year or more than a year at this point, maybe. And like, we've never even like hung out or done anything together. And he's like, oh yeah, I want to hang out too. So then like randomly, he would try to make plans with me, or I would make plans with him to hang out. And like last minute, like the day of, he'd just be like, oh, sorry, I forgot I already have plans. So I'd just be like, okay, whatever. Because I unfortunately have experience with this, because some guys are just fucking stupid and don't know their schedules. So it would like annoy me, but I was just like, fine, whatever, it's fine. Shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have put up with it. But eventually, after literally him canceling on me like 5 times in a row, he told me again like he was canceling because he forgot he had da-da-da-da. And I was just like, if you don't want to hang out, that's fine, but like, can you please stop making plans with me? We make plans, and then somehow you always have some stupid ass excuse as to why you can't hang out. I was like, it's like fine if you don't want to, but just tell me, because I'm sitting here like literally every other day waiting around to hang out with you, and then it never happens. So he basically responded being like, it's not that I don't want to hang out with you. And I'm like, then what is it? Like, what do you mean? And then he was just like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship right now. And I feel like if we like start actually hanging out, then I'm gonna catch feelings for you. So I just think it's probably not a good idea if we hang out, because I'm not ready for a relationship. That's all good and fine, but then like, why are you still snapping me and all this stuff? And like flirting with me if you aren't ready for a relationship and you don't have any intention of like hanging out with me. It just feels like you're wasting my time. Like, he basically was just like, well, I don't know what I want. Like, maybe I want to be in a relationship, but like, just like, I don't know. I just was like, yeah, I'm not doing this, I'm sorry. Like, I don't think we should talk anymore. So then we stopped talking. Several months passed, and then he, like, I think it was maybe his birthday, so I just texted him happy birthday, because it's not like I hate him. I just like, this is not good for me. So I texted him happy birthday, and unfortunately that wasn't opening for us to start talking again, so we did. And it was just casual, like, he was just asking me about school, I was asking him about school, because he ended up moving somewhere else to go to school. And then we just continued to keep snapping each other, and it was just like very casual. Like, it wasn't how it used to be. But then over time, you know, it did start to progress again. Nobody talked about how stupid I am. I already know I'm stupid. I should never have started talking to him again. But yeah, then we started to fall back into old habits and start flirting and stuff again. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, one night we were talking, like just snapping each other about stuff, and I was like asking him about school. And he was like telling me about a football game he went to or something, and so I was like, oh, that's cool, blah, blah. And then I was joking around like, oh, have you made any new friends? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's good. And then as a joke, I was like, oh, have you made any girlfriends, like, or are they all boys? And he was like, well, yeah, my girlfriend, like, has friends, so I'm friends with them too. You're what? Who? And I said, girlfriend, question mark? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, is this a joke? And he said, no. And I'm like, okay, so how long have you guys been dating? How long have you been dating? And he told me like 3 months. And I was like,
So why have you still been snapping me then? Why have you still been snapping me? Well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Why am I snapping you? And I was like, we've literally just been like non-stop talking for like the last 3 months. You know, and I think that if you have a girlfriend, you probably should have stopped talking to me. I don't know. I'm like, if I was dating someone and they were doing that, I would be mad. And he goes, well, I wasn't going to stop talking to you because, like, you're really nice to me, so I didn't want to, like, just stop talking to you. And I was like, okay, well, at least you, like, hinting or literally just directly telling me somehow, like, wiggling into a conversation that you had a girlfriend, that would have been nice. But, yeah, he's just like, well, I wouldn't have unadded you or anything or, like, stop talking to you because, like, you're nice to me, so I wouldn't do that. And I'm like, what's not nice, though, is you not telling me you have a girlfriend. I actually, like, genuinely, I was going insane. Like, I was sitting in my room, like, because I feel bad, because what if something happens where she finds out that, like, I was still snapping him, and that makes me look bad. That makes me look like I'm trying to fucking homewreck when it's really, in reality, you just didn't tell me you had a girlfriend. But after that, I literally just stopped talking to him, completely cut him off and everything, which is sad, because I feel like we were, like, friends. So now I just don't talk to him anymore at all. And this was, like, a year or 2 ago. But yeah, I will actually never forget and never forgive. Because what do you mean you have a girlfriend? Bye.
This woman is losing it because the guy she's been snapping for over a year finally told her, I'm not ready for a relationship. After all the streaks, the filters, the late night snaps, and even making plans to meet up, she's suddenly shocked he doesn't want to date her. Now she's asking, then why are you snapping me if you don't want a relationship? Here's the thing. Snapchat isn't a love letter. It's digital small talk. If he's snapping you daily, it doesn't mean he's in love. It means he's bored. Men will send a snap just like they send a meme. Zero emotional investment required. She mistook streaks for commitment, emojis for interest, and attention for affection. Girl, he never said he was your boyfriend. You just built the fantasy in your head. And the wild part? A whole year of snapping, and she's just now asking what they are. That's not a situationship. That's a subscription. One that should have been canceled months ago. So no, he's not wrong for saying he's not ready. She's wrong for assuming Snapchat was step one of a relationship. Newsflash, it's not romance, it's Wi-Fi validation.
So I know I'm always joking about why I'm single, and I always make it out to be that I'm fucking crazy. But here's the real truth of why I'm still single. Number one, I've worked so hard to design such a beautiful life for myself where I truly enjoy my life. I have a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility, and overall I'm really just at peace and truly happy with myself and with my day-to-day life. I spoil myself pretty much whenever I want. I'm very capable of treating myself like a princess, and I in fact do treat myself like a princess. And self-care is huge for me. I have a lot of amazing friends. Whenever I'm feeling like I need to recharge around others and be social, I never really feel alone. In fact, I have felt more alone being in relationships with the wrong partner. It's going to take a very special person and connection. It's more about the connection than the person for me. I need to feel something really strong and powerful, beautiful, authentic, genuine, in order for me to give up my peaceful life of solitude. The hardest part, though, is that I do want children, and I do dream of having a family, and so I know eventually I'm going to get to a point where I have to kind of choose someone, but until then, I just enjoy my life where I'm at, and as much as I do want that, my time and energy is more valuable to spend with myself and working on myself than into dating men. I find that dating can be extremely time consuming and draining, and I'm really not willing to spend a couple hours of my day with just anyone just to date, if that makes sense. A lot of guys are always asking me like, hey, can I take you to dinner? And I'm not desperate for a free dinner. So until I really know that I want to spend time with this person and go on a date, I'm not going on a date. And someone with a small mind will take this as me being arrogant or full of myself, but the ones that get it will get it. And it's just that I really
enjoy my own company. I'm okay being alone. And I value myself so much. I finally see myself like way up here. And I'm not risking anybody coming into my life that doesn't match my same energy. And this is not even just for romantic partners, this is for friendships. And I just haven't come across someone that I feel is worthy of sharing my everyday life with and sharing my body with. And those that know me know how much I love intimacy. If you have watched my live shows and if you know my other side of me, probably doesn't make sense because I am so charged in that way. But as much as I love that, I love me more, and I think my worth is worth more than sharing my body with someone just because it's been 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is. I know that what I have to offer is far greater than that temporary feeling of being intimate with someone, knowing that it's just temporary. It's not that it would take just a special person, but it's more so that it would take an extremely special and exceptional connection between a person and I in order for me to give up my single life.
Be honest with me. What is the real reason why you're single right now?
I think I'm going to speak for all men in this video, and I'm going to do that by using a flow chart of what has happened to me. So let's jump right in. So here's little baby us. Okay, and then at some point in our childhood, we're going to go through something that's going to happen to us, which is going to then cause us to bottle up our emotions and learn to deal with it. Then, somewhere years later along the way, we're going to meet pretty girl number one. Pretty girl number one is going to make us feel trust again, and love, and cared for, which will then lead us to open up about our emotions. Okay? And once time goes by and you spill all the beans to her, she will inevitably cheat on you. Okay? These little arrows here show how she's going to use all your insecurities and trust issues and mental health to then throw it back in your face and make you seem like the bad guy. Okay? That will then cause us to self-sabotage and be upset. Okay? We will self-sabotage every relationship going forward. Okay? We're going to go to alcohol and money and fast things like motorcycles. And in the very end, we will never trust a woman again. So that pretty much is the Spark Notes version of it. That lays out everything you guys need to know. Girls, hope you got it. Boys, got your back. I'll see you next time.
I know this to be true for so many men, but for a lot of women watching this, they will say that, wow, women go through a very similar experience, right? They get hurt. A man hurts her, and that doesn't mean that she should be able to hurt a future man back, right? But there's a key difference in the experience of what a man goes through versus a woman, and I want to highlight it because this man touched on it. And that key difference is that a man is made out to feel like the bad guy, even though oftentimes it's either the woman or it's both of them. Like they both have a part to play in the demise of that relationship. But the man is made out to feel like the bad guy. It is very infrequent where a woman is made out to feel like the bad guy, like publicly, socially, even privately between the two of them. And that is why a man will go through the process of bottling up. He won't open up, and then he will turn to some of these things as a way to cope. So yeah, ladies, for a lot of men that are single, it is because of how they've been treated. Tell me I'm wrong.
He's not wrong. Women will hold what their ex did against her new man. Men give new chances until we run out. Then, no more chances for anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Good point.
So let's call you Kendrick Gilliams. I'm going to respect you and call you Kendrick Gilliams. That's your name. That's what I'm going to call you throughout this video. If you try to strike a video now, what I'm going to do is just send this right over to YouTube. That's how goofy you are.
Yeah,
You're
but
one of the goofiest bitches on earth.
Damn.
She wanted $3 million from me. Please. You're not getting a fucking penny from me.
now I thought that we were done with this conversation, but apparently we were just heating up. A couple of months ago, I did a video where I talked through Kendra G filing copyright strikes onto a YouTube channel that goes by the name of MABW. Within that, he would fight or contest those copyright strikes and get the videos reinstated on his channel. And then in strategic fashion, Kendra G followed up with a temporary protective order or a temporary restraining order, which was another attempt to silence the YouTuber, but that inevitably failed. Well, she's apparently taken it a extra step forward, actually a couple of extra steps forward, and has filed a $3 million lawsuit on the same YouTuber, MABW, and ended up failing miserably again. Now, according to Kendra G, any man that is talking about her apparently is only doing so because they're broke, dusty, and are living in their mama's basement, and I need to afford my light bill this month, so we gotta be able to go in and talk about the damn tomfoolery. Let's go over to MABW for the report.
Salute to the MABW team. I'm back with another video. If I'm right here right now talking to y'all, what do y'all think happened between me and Kendra Gilliams, aka Kendra G? Hey, K Sleaze, my bad, Kendra Gilliams. You don't want me calling you a scammer? You don't want me calling you Kendra Sleaze? You don't want me calling you any of those names that you said I called you when we had our first court case, when I had to go through the whole restraining order thing that you put on me? So let's call you Kendra Gilliams. I'm going to respect you and call you Kendra Gilliams. That's your name. That's what I'm going to call you throughout this video. Kendra Gilliams, tell the people what happened. As of right now, Kendra Gilliams, if y'all can see right here, because I like to provide receipts with everything I do, Kendra Gilliams and her attorney, they have requested a dismissal of this case currently. And they have requested this case be dismissed without prejudice. Now let me explain. You can have cases dismissed with prejudice, which means the case can never be brought up ever again.
Yeah.
Or you can have it dismissed without prejudice, meaning if something arises in the future, as long as I file before the statute of limitations is up, I could possibly find something else on him, pay my attorney $10,000 to $20,000. Her on her side, pay her attorney $10,000 to $20,000 again to try to find something else on MABW to refile and possibly have the case because she knows she fucked up. Now, let me tell y'all what happened. She tried to sue your boy MABW for $3 million. She wanted $150,000 per video. My lawyer said, MABW, sit tight, I got this. Let's hit her with a thing called an anti-slap lawsuit. If y'all don't know what that is, when somebody tries to pretty much sue you and they don't have no real proof, no real evidence, no real case in general, they can get in certain states you can hit them with an anti-slap. My attorney was gonna hit her and her attorney with not her attorney, but her with an anti-slap lawsuit. Guess what? I'm thinking that Kendra Gilliams, my bad, let me respect you on this one. I'm thinking that she didn't want to lose her wig money. I'm thinking she didn't want to lose any penthouse money because soon as she was about to get hit with an anti-slap lawsuit, as of 10/15/25, yeah, we're gonna request for a dismissal. All I have to do now is wait for the affidavit from the judge to come back signed, stating everything that's getting dismissed. I send it off to YouTube and MABW team. We got our old channel back. But let me make something clear real quick, okay? First and foremost, we were gonna be good no matter what. I don't know if y'all looking at my new channel, MABW 2.0, but we've been doing 1,000 subs a week. Kendra Sleaze, guess what?
Good.
You said MABW. If you can't do any videos on me, your lights are gonna get cut off. How is MABW gonna make it without me? Look at MABW 2.0. Are we doing numbers out to the people out there, to the MABW team? Are we doing numbers over there or not? I'm just asking a question. I started that channel. You know what's funny? The date they filed for a request for dismissal is the date that I filed. No, that's the date I started my new channel. They found, because my attorney sent me the paperwork as of Friday for this, because I haven't got the official affidavit yet, but this is what's going on right now. So I said, let me go ahead and put it out there for the MABW team to let y'all know we good over here.
Yeah. Let's go over his channel. Now, I didn't realize this, but apparently he had to create a new channel, I guess, after Kendra G sent the protective restraining order over to YouTube. And I guess that she's continuously striking his first channel, and I'm sure that she's trying to strike his second channel as well. But he's not lying. If you see here, 4,000 subscribers in 4 hours ago, 1.4K views. You know, he's got more views than subscribers here. He's consistently still hitting the algorithm irrespective of the amount of subscribers that he has. And honestly, it's dope to be able to see this, because through the anarchy, which is the YouTube copyright claim strike system, he can still create and be rewarded from a content perspective. Just looking at the views on his channel, it looks like he's already monetized. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad